Greetings. I'm Brigadier General Alan Gronewold, the Adjutant General of the Oregon National Guard. As we reflect on this past year, I'm filled with pride at the remarkable achievements of our Guard members. Our federal mission saw troops deployed to the Middle East and prepared for operations in Kosovo, exemplifying the highest military standards. The Oregon Air National Guard continued its vital role in the Western air defense sector, safeguarding our skies while training future fighter pilots. Through every mission, our Guard members demonstrated that they're connected to their communities, competent in their roles, and committed to excellence. This dedication makes us the military service of choice for Oregonians. Let's review the impactful year we've had, showcasing why we're always ready and always there.
The Oregon National Guard exemplified excellence in 2024, conducting vital training missions across the Pacific Northwest and beyond. In mid-April, soldiers from the 41st Infantry Brigade Combat Team sharpened their combat skills through intensive live-fire exercises at Idaho's Orchard Combat Training Center. Infantry squads from the 1st Battalion, 186th Infantry Regiment, and 2nd Battalion, 162nd Infantry Regiment, mastered battle drills and fire discipline in realistic combat scenarios. Yet, the high point of the 2024 training year would take place nearly 2,500 miles away from Oregon at Fort Johnson, Louisiana. Soldiers assigned to the 41st Infantry Brigade Combat Team took on the challenges and demands of the Joint Readiness Training Center, an intensive training rotation focused on large-scale combat operations, preparation for their upcoming federal deployment. Together with more than 4,900 soldiers from 25 states and territories, the brigade spent an intense 2 weeks simulating the challenges of peer-to-peer warfare. The Oregon Air National Guard was also heavily involved in training during the year, with nearly 100 airmen from the 173rd Fighter Wing supporting Exercise Sentry Luau at Joint Base Pearl Harbor-Hickam in March. Integrating with the Hawaii Air National Guard's F-22 Raptors, the exercise sharpened Oregon's F-15 crew's skill sets, allowing them to integrate with other airframes. During Sentry Luau, the F-15s completed more than 100 flying hours and 68 missions without any major maintenance issues. Nearly 150 members of the 142nd Wing also supported the U.S. Air Force Weapons Instructor Course at Nellis Air Force Base, Nevada. As the pilots executed challenging training in the skies over Nellis, maintenance airmen worked hard to support these operations by launching and recovering aircraft, arming and disarming jets, and maintaining weapons and aircraft. Along with the valuable training, the long-awaited delivery of the new F-15EX to the Oregon Air National Guard's 142nd Wing was celebrated during a formal ceremony in July. This next-generation fighter demonstrated the significance of the Aerospace Control Alert mission and the importance of maintaining a strong Air National Guard presence in Portland for many years in the future. The ceremony, held at the Portland Air National Guard Base, brought together elected officials, senior military leaders, and retirees who have maintained the Air Alert mission in Oregon for more than 75 years. Just as the first new aircraft arrived, Oregon Army National Guard soldiers throughout the state were preparing to depart for overseas contingency operations. Soldiers with the 2nd Battalion, 218th Field Artillery Regiment were mobilized in early August during a ceremony held at Pacific University in Forest Grove. Before departing to the Middle East, members of the unit first headed to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, to train on the equipment and systems they would utilize as the primary air defenders for American and coalition partners across the CENTCOM area of responsibility. 1 week later, the 41st Infantry Brigade Combat Team held their mobilization ceremony in mid-August at the Salem Armory Auditorium. The ceremony marked the start of their upcoming year-long deployment, supporting the NATO-led Kosovo force. As part of KFOR's 34th rotation, soldiers will conduct peacekeeping activities, helping to maintain regional security and stability in the Balkans. Just as the Oregon Army National Guard soldiers were on the move, Airmen assigned to the 173rd Fighter Wing were also recognized during their mobilization ceremony held in early September at Kingsley Field. Nearly 50 airmen from almost every group were selected to support missions around the globe as part of the Air National Guard's Reserve Component Period tasking, deploying individual airmen from the Fighter Wing to locations around the world based on the need and Air Force Specialty Code. Oregon also welcomed back Guard members who had completed federal service obligations. A demobilization ceremony was held in January in Salem for the 27 members of Detachment 1, Company Alpha, 1st Battalion, 112th Aviation Regiment for their year-long support to the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol Agency. The unit flew a total of 1,825 hours, with most of those missions flown at night, working to deter illegal border crossings, drug smuggling, and human trafficking. While deployed, the unit also contributed over 1,000 hours of direct community service. 16 soldiers from the Oregon Army National Guard's 3rd Squadron, 116th Cavalry, were welcomed home in early February after their year-long deployment to the Middle East in support of Operation Spartan Shield. While overseas, as part of Task Force Rattler, soldiers from Adder Company served as a quick reaction force for Central Command and conducted exercises, working with partner nation forces from Syria, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, and Kuwait. Oregon Governor Tina Kotek and I welcomed home soldiers with Alpha 641st Aviation in early September after their year-long deployment. The unit provided fixed-wing air capabilities in support of the Combined Joint Task Force Horn of Africa and AFRICOM from Djibouti and throughout the AFRICOM theater. Together with the Oregon Department of Forestry, under Operation Plan Smoky, soldiers and airmen were activated to support the wildland fire season during the late summer months. Following Governor Kotek's emergency declaration on July 12th, more than 200 soldiers and airmen answered the call to state active duty. For nearly 60 days, the Oregon National Guard worked to support wildland fire crews in multiple capacities across the state as they assisted with medical evacuation capabilities, water buckets, and hand crews. Army National Guard air crews assisted stranded hikers and others in need of medical assistance during the summer time frame. One search and rescue took place in late June when the Oregon Department of Emergency Management, Klamath County Sheriff's Office, and the Oregon Army National Guard rescued a hiker in her mid-40s who became stranded on the Pacific Crest Trail in southern Oregon. The HH-60 Mike Black Hawk helicopter and crew secured the hiker after she fell down a shale chute and was unable to self-rescue. The aviation crew was able to secure the hiker by air hoist and later transferred her to a hospital in Medford. The Oregon National Guard Counterdrug program significantly impacted the fight against illicit drugs by increasing the number of guardsmen working alongside law enforcement counter-narcotics officers. After a 6-year hiatus, the program reopened in 2024 its aviation and drug demand reduction and outreach programs. And with UH-72 Lakota aerial support and community outreach, Guard members aided in seizing over 1 million pills, 4,700 pounds of fentanyl, and 2,200 pounds of methamphetamine. The estimated value of these seizures exceeded $3 billion, marking a 7-fold increase from 2023. When our members were not concentrating on their federal or state missions, many were pushing themselves through endurance activities. The annual Oregon National Guard Best Warrior competition in March tested soldiers' physical and mental toughness over 3 days at Camp Rylea. Events tested not just physical readiness, but land navigation skills, marksmanship, and other warrior tasks. Private First Class Francisco Garcia, a light wheel mechanic with Fox Company, 2nd Battalion, 218th Field Artillery Regiment, was named Soldier of the Year, while Sergeant Mitchell Sierra, an infantryman assigned to 1st Battalion, 186th Infantry Regiment's Scout Platoon, captured honors as the Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year. The annual Chief National Guard Bureau Biathlon Championships took place last February in Midway, Utah. 7 Oregon National Guard soldiers competed in this year's event against guardsmen from 26 other states and territories, trying to land a spot on the All-Guard team. Army Captain Kyle Rowe, assigned to the 1st Squadron, 82nd Cavalry Regiment, made the All-Guard team for the 2nd year in a row, consisting of the top 15 male biathletes from across the participating states and territories. Major Christy Boucher, Deputy Inspector General, Joint Force Headquarters, took top honors in the women's novice sprint race. Major Tommy Vu also continued his drive for excellence, working to reclaim his world record for the most chest-to-ground burpees. Completing more than 1,027 repetitions in 1 hour, he beat out another athlete who overtook his 2020 record in 2023. 2024 was also a year we said goodbye to retired Oregon National Guard Major Larry Diebert, a former civilian aide to the Secretary of the Army and recipient of the Distinguished Service Cross for his bravery in Vietnam. Flying more than 570 missions in an O-1 Bird Dog, he directly saved hundreds of U.S. troops and is the most decorated Oregon aviator. In August, as the training year came to a close, General Daniel R. Hokanson formally retired as the 29th Chief of the National Guard Bureau after 38 years of military service in a ceremony in Medford, Oregon. A graduate of the United States Military Academy at West Point, Hokanson began his service in the Oregon National Guard in 1995 as the aide-de-camp to the Adjutant General. He later went on to command the 641st Medical Battalion and 41st Infantry Brigade Combat Team before serving 2 years as Oregon's 30th Adjutant General. Over the past year, the Oregon National Guard has proven once again to be ready for any challenge, whether it's defending the homeland or mobilized globally to stand with our allies and partners. In looking back at this past year, our members should feel a tremendous sense of pride for a job extremely well done. Though the challenges have been tough, you've taken them on with professionalism and unlimited dedication. You've remained connected, competent, and committed, demonstrating why we are the service of choice for Oregonians. I'm proud to serve with every one of you.
The Oregon National Guard has had an extraordinary year of service, both abroad and here at home. As Oregon's Commander-in-Chief, I am so proud to highlight the Guard's crucial role to our state and our country. In addition to international deployments, our Guard members were on the front lines fighting wildfires this year, protecting communities and saving lives. They also conducted daring search and rescue missions in our state's most challenging terrains, bringing hope and help to those in need. The Oregon National Guard stands ever ready to respond to any crisis that may arise. Your constant preparedness and rapid response capabilities are a testament to your dedication to the safety and well-being of all Oregonians. To every member of the Oregon National Guard and to your families, thank you. Your service makes our state stronger, safer, and more resilient. On behalf of all Oregonians, thank you for your unwavering commitment and sacrifice.